Good evening and welcome to our seminar, Free to 5,000, offered by Sullivan Renaissance and the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce. This evening, I would like to introduce our speakers and get started on our presentation. First, I will speak about what local chambers can do to up their game and make their websites more interesting and inviting to prospective members. Next, Jaime Schmeiser will speak about what the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce can do to help local chambers. And finally, Denise Frangipane will offer a presentation on things that businesses can do to increase their curb appeal. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. So what do active chambers look like? Active chambers have an internet and social media presence, and they are known in the local community. I'd like to share some ways in which you can attract local attention and be part of your town's activity. What can you share on your website? You can share how to join your local Chamber of Commerce, how to donate to your local Chamber of Commerce, upcoming events, member benefits, and more. So let's get started. I looked at all the local Chamber of Commerce websites in Sullivan County and found that many do not have a place for interested businesses to learn how to become a member of the Chamber. It's a good idea to have a spot for them to at least leave contact information for you to reach back out to them. As you can see in the Callicoon Chambers page here, they post both a welcoming letter and an application for you to join the Chamber of Commerce. Rock Hill Business and Community Association offers a place for people to donate. If you don't provide an opportunity for folks to donate, they cannot. It doesn't hurt to have it there. You never know who might be impressed with all that your organization does and feel compelled to support their efforts. As you can see here, the Rock Hill Business and Community Association has a spot right down from this drop-down menu where folks can donate. This is another page from a local chamber where they post both on their webpage and Facebook about an upcoming event. Try to keep this page up to date, include links to register if possible and appropriate, and share on social media and through press releases. Be sure to share how you can be a partner with those you are trying to attract. Offering benefits shows that you care about the business community and you want to see them succeed. Benefits could include discounted rates for monthly breakfasts like the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce, or highlighting a particular business on a weekly rotating basis among the other ideas listed here. We have the Greater Berryville Chamber of Commerce with a whole list of benefits for their members, and other ideas that could include networking, member-only seminars and workshops, advertising specials, promotion opportunities, and having a business directory and map of your member businesses. So that's what this is here, a map that the Narrowsburg Chamber of Commerce created, both with the member businesses and then pointing them out on this map that they have of the Narrowsburg area. Here's the chamber-wide initiative of the Saratoga Chamber of Commerce that supports local business. If a customer spends $20.21 in the transaction, they can enter to win gift cards that are offered by the participating businesses. So they use this initiative during COVID for customers to come into the stores, spend $20.21 and be registered to win a gift certificate. Like I said, it looked like a great initiative in their area. They were giving out multiple gift certificates every week for a period of weeks. It was looked like it was really successful for them and helped the local economy. An initiative like the one promoted here by the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce unites the whole community. So you might remember that earlier in the pandemic, folks were asked to tie ribbons together And then as businesses were able to reopen, the Chamber of Commerce would come by and do a ribbon cutting to celebrate the reopening of the business. That's a way to get everyone involved. Keep locals and visitors in the know with a publication sharing what's coming up and how they can support local business. Include a spot on your website for them to opt in to receive timely newsletters and emails. Here you can see this is the Roscoe Chamber of Commerce. It's just a very simple box that they have where you could input your email, hit the sign up button, and you would receive their emails about upcoming events. So here we have some other website ideas. You could have a link on your chamber page to your local municipality business related laws, things like dumpster enclosures, fencing, signage, appropriate sizes of signage, or what's necessary to keep their sidewalks clean, anything that might appeal to them. If you have a direct link, that really could be a benefit. Host an online store promoting your membership's products. I did see a local chamber who had a store tab on their website page, and although they weren't currently using it, it looked like it could be an opportunity for businesses to post their wares there and possibly get some more income. Share other opportunities in your town that would help draw a customer in or keep them in town longer. We have a lot of farmers markets around here, nice parks, and there was a lot of parades this past summer, all things that could draw someone in for an afternoon and have them spend some more time in town. Include links to the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce, Sullivan County Visitors Association, and town guidebooks I did find shared as well. For member spotlights, you could feature a business and include a coupon or promotion, or highlight a business that has recently helped out around town. It's always good PR to be part of your community. And like I said, who doesn't want to share good news? How do you share your message? Be sure to use positive language. Share your mission statement and a brief history. You can share your message on social media and through press releases. And think about ways you could be reciprocal in sharing your information with municipalities and others. And we'll get into that in just one second. So words have power. The language you use says a lot more about you than just what is being conveyed in the text. No matter what your message is, your tone, word choice, and emphasis can not only change how your message is received, but also change how your brand is perceived. People are naturally drawn to positivity. Positive language supports clear and productive communication, is constructive, and will increase the likelihood that your content will motivate the reader to take the next step. Using an optimistic tone, positive vocabulary, and a constructive emphasis will not only improve the quality of your writing, but present your message in a more rewarding and attractive way, and ultimately create a brand that your audience is much more likely to engage with. When you're using an optimistic tone, it conveys emotions, attitudes, and intentions that are positive. As you're writing, typing, or speaking your message, think about the cup being half full and smile to keep your tone positive. Use positive vocabulary. Replace negative words with positive. Instead of "don't run," say "please walk." Other words that are positive include benefit, bonus, easy, effective, fun, free, save, and please. In using constructive emphasis, think about things like this. Does your old rundown truck need replacing? Or are you in the market for a new truck? Both acknowledge that the customer needs a new vehicle, but the second doesn't dwell on the negative aspect of it. Focus on the solution instead of the problem. Choosing to emphasize the good will make your message more powerful and attract to your audience. Use a mission statement and history to share what you're about, as the Bethel Business Association and the Monticello Chamber of Commerce have done here. You could add your vision for the future as well. So as you can see, the first thing on the Bethel Business Association's homepage here is their mission statement. It gives you a good idea of what they do in their local Chamber of Commerce, and you can decide whether that's something you're interested in. The Monticello Chamber of Commerce shares a brief history of the Chamber of Commerce and why they've decided to pick it up more recently and move forward with it. Make sure that your web page links to your social media pages and that your social media pages are current. If someone seeking you out as a chamber sees that you are not effective on social media, they may begin to wonder if you're active as a group. You could also consider engaging youth by using TikTok. Youth these days seem to be into TikTok and they know all about it. So ask them to help you out and it will draw them into your chamber and what you're doing, and maybe they'll attract some new business for you. Here we have the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce, and if you click on any of these icons right here, it brings you right to their page. I tried it out myself. And then the Chamber of Commerce posted something recently, and they do often, to let us know that they are active. So when you're writing a press release, first of all, include the basics: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Include a quote. Attach a picture that will draw people into your article. Link them on your web page and share them on your own social media for added exposure. And share with local media sources, radio, newspapers, popular social media pages that the whole county looks at are helpful. Create an email group of local media outlets so that you can hit send one time and it reaches multiple news sources. That's what we do here in Sullivan Renaissance when we want to get a press release out to various newspapers and others that will share our information. We have them all in one group. We just find the group, hit send with our press release, and it goes to everyone all at one time, and it's a lot easier. So when you think about reciprocity and sharing information, you might want to consider if the town or village that you're part of will share the information on their own webpage. Will they share your upcoming events? Do they have a Facebook page or other social media that you can share your information on? Encourage your member businesses to share, share, share. They can share your stuff on their page and you can share their business stuff on your page. And then think about if there are other local organizations that you might want to work with. The local fire department, the library, there's all sorts of ways to look at it if you take some time to think about the other members of your community. So what does it mean to up your chamber game? There's lots of ideas. I've found a few that could possibly be helpful to you. Creating subcommittees will help keep members interested and engaged. Everyone will feel like they're contributing, and this will help prevent burnout. So some different ideas for subcommittees are events, a membership subcommittee, media, both press and radio, and then a website and social media, fundraising, beautification, board of directors, community liaison, scholarships if you're offering one, and marketing. Signature events help your chamber become a household name, give locals and tourists something to look forward to, and pull the community together. So this here is a 40th annual event by Kenny Bunkport's local Chamber of Commerce. They actually call it, there's a business association. And this is a month-long initiative where they host events almost every evening to draw people to the downtown area and take a look in the stores. They have caroling and all things related to holidays. It looked like a lot of fun. And if I was traveling to this area, I might consider traveling there during the month of December to check this event out. And then we have the local Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce, who's hosting their annual meeting and Pride Awards, which does bring everyone together, and we're all going to attend to support the Pride Award winners. Should be a fun night. Engaging volunteers in a group project is a great way to share what the local chamber does on a more personal level and get to know your community members. So as you can see here, this was from the Rock Hill group. They helped to build a playground. Looks like they got a whole bunch of young kids involved in that project. And even if they aren't a member of the Rock Hill group, you know, they interacted, both the Rock Hill group and the kids got to interact with each other and learn more about each other and really become more ingrained as a community. Sullivan Renaissance offers a merchant discount program that encourages local businesses to offer a discount with the community groups that we work with. This offers greater exposure to the business and keeps our dollars local. If you think your business might be interested in this program, please reach out to Kathleen Capizzoli. Finally, I'd like to share with you to please save the date for our annual event, G2R, also known as Get Ready to Renaissance. We will kick off the grant season with this live Zoom event on Wednesday, January 19th at 6 p.m. Registration information will be available on our website soon. Now I'd like to turn the presentation over to Jaime Schmeiser, who will share how the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce can help local chambers and businesses.
So our tagline is your Sullivan County Chamber is your partner for success. And that really is true because we have many affiliations and memberships within other organizations that help us provide your webinars, your connections, and your resources. We're here to help you not only as a chamber, but if you're a business and need help, you know, just navigating some of the COVID-19 recovery projects and resources, we're here to help. If we don't have the answer, we can find the answer. We are the information central. We are a clearinghouse for all information. During COVID, we certainly were able to disseminate a lot of information out to not only the community, but to our businesses and to our other chambers. We are affiliated with the Main Street America program, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and we are affiliated with most, if not all, of the local chambers here. So if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to us. We have a ton of resources here. Not only are we able to offer you those resources, but we'll also have certain equipment that if you are having an event through your chamber or even your business, we have a sound system that you could borrow. We will have a podium that you will be able to borrow within the next few weeks, I hope. We have whiteboards, we have a ton of pens and things like that to loan you if you're making presentations. If you need, you know, suggestion for venues or what have you, the Chamber of Commerce is a really great go-to place. I remember, and I'm showing my age now, but when we used to dial 411 for information, we'd get somebody's phone number or be referred to service. The Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce is your 411. We are here to help the chambers and our community and our businesses bringing everybody together because we have more strength working together. So feel free to reach out to us. Our website, of course, is catskills.com. Our phone number, everybody I think has it, 845-791-4200. If you want to reach me directly, you just dial extension 4, and we are usually available 5 days a week and sometimes in evenings and weekends. So we're always here to help you, and we're here to help promote your events as well. So feel free to reach out to us.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do all 15 towns in Sullivan County have a chamber or organization like that?
No, there are certain groups in different downtowns, especially the main streets. They might have a retail store owners group, but for the most part, there's about 8 or 9 chambers that are actually active within their communities. The other groups like GEMS, which is very active with the beautification projects in Jeffersonville, for instance, they are more active also with businesses than their business association and their chamber. And right now the chamber is just coming back after COVID. So we work with all of those organizations, and we try to not all the towns have that, but we're trying to step in and help where those towns don't have that kind of presence, so that they can have a go-to place. Like, for instance, the town of Liberty or Liberty and the village of Liberty, they do not have an active chamber right now. They are on hiatus because there was only one person who was able to rejoin the chamber, and that was Russell Reeves, but then he became county clerk, I'm sorry, and his schedule was such that he couldn't just do it on his own. A lot of the volunteers were affected by that. So most of the chambers, if not all of them, are on a volunteer basis, and this is all voluntary for their staff, whatever staff they might have, or their board of directors. We are pretty much the only paid staff that, the Chamber of Commerce that has staff that are paid. So we can do this full time, but the other chambers can't. And so that's the other benefit we'd like to offer all the chambers, is that we're, like I said, we all have the same goals. We all have the same ambitions for our towns and for our villages and for our county. And why not work together? We get more accomplished that way. And so if you need the extra help with something, we're certainly here to provide that service or be that chamber of commerce for the town or village that doesn't have it.
Can we possibly at any point spearhead or get a meeting together of the ones that you do have that are semi-organized or organized? So
yes,
we plan, maybe I'm thinking too far out of the box, but when you think of Hudson Valley, they have all this promotion and all this media out there. So you can visit every single little town through the Hudson Valley, and very rarely do our towns be mentioned except separately,
yes.
with our own media. And I'd really like to see, like, even maybe not in 22, but by 23, have a real goal of putting that line on the map.
Absolutely. I'm 100% agreement with you. We have been trying to affect something like that. When I first came back here 3 years ago, we put together a meeting and only 2 of the chambers were able to show up. That was my fault because I didn't realize that they were all volunteer. And so I tried to do it during the day. So then I made another meeting for the evening. again, we're trying to get this together, and Denise and Christy and the whole Sullivan Renaissance group have been so instrumental in getting this meeting together for us. And so, yes, absolutely, we want to co-op. We want to be a resource for not only our chambers, but for our county businesses. You know, the Delaware River Valley, if you want to go Hudson River Valley, this is the Delaware River Valley, or the Catskills, the Sullivan Catskills. That's how we are marketed. And there's no reason why we can't all work together. And that's my goal as well. So thank you for bringing that up. That's great.
I'd just like to plant the seed. So maybe, I mean, maybe the big meeting wouldn't happen yet because the seed isn't really out there, or maybe it has been planted and I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
All right, so we'll talk.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Jamie, can I ask
I
you
think,
a question too? Oh, if you have
sure.
a thought, go for it. But so I think what Christy mentioned at one point, I think, and what I've seen in some groups is lack of, and you mentioned it as well, lack of capacity to do things. I mean, having an active social media presence and stuff in today's day and age is so important. So any suggestions or tips for building capacity and building, you know, getting dedicated and active board members or active chamber members, not just members who pay their dues?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the social media and part of the benefits of joining a chamber, what we say to our people that we want to join our chamber, is the fact that we can provide, as a Chamber of Commerce, that social media piece that, you know, we can not do all your marketing for you, but we can do a great deal of marketing as an entity that promotes business and community and quality of life. So just by joining your chamber, I can suggest that you would get that help. And then by all of us working together as chambers of commerce or business associations and as established entities in the community, we can team up together to share each other's social media posts. And pretty much that's what we're all doing right now. All of us on the call. I believe, Suzanne, you were kind enough to share this webinar through your membership and through your social media posts. We shared ours through our channels. Sullivan Renaissance shared theirs. And, you know, I got on the radio and we did the media presentations and everything else about this webinar. That's the way we can get it. But I think just joining together and getting the word out there. A lot of businesses don't understand what a chamber is. And that was one of my comments on, you know, when I filled out the registration, because I wanted to register to make sure I could be on this. I answered one of the questions as our biggest challenge as a Chamber of Commerce or as any entity is to try to explain who we are and why we exist. I think people have a notion of chambers of commerce as these, you know, old men that are sitting in a room smoking cigars, you know, having a good old boys meeting and talking about, you know, things that are up here that don't make any sense to the common people or business owners. You know, they don't understand how a Chamber of Commerce works. And also moving forward, and I don't want to take up all your time talking about this, but part of our mission as chambers and as business association is to make or to help people to understand the types of things we do. Now, with COVID, we've all had to pivot. We've all had to change. We are not your parents' Chamber of Commerce. We are not the Chamber of Commerce that used to exist even 10 years ago. Everything has changed now, and everything is done by social media and online presence and internet And the in-person networking events that were signature are now something, they're morphing into different things. So we have to be able to provide that education piece that, but we have to provide it in a unified manner. And I think by doing what Suzanne said is getting together, having these webinars, being able to discuss this as chambers of commerce, as business associations, and having our key business members who want to be a part of this and want to make a change, be a part of it, and educating everybody. I think we can make inroads to that, getting the volunteers and getting the employees and getting, you know, dealing with all those issues that not only are our areas dealing with, but the rest of the United States. So thank you. Yeah, that's a good question, but we're working on it and we're moving ahead with it.
Thank you, Jaime. Did you want to add anything else before we move on to Denise?
No, that's it. You all have my number and everything. And, you know, we can talk more. I can talk your ears off all night about, you know, what great resources we have in this community and in this county, starting with Sullivan Renaissance. And, but I'll let you guys do that, talking about Sullivan Renaissance.
Thank you so much. So now I'm going to turn the screen over to Denise, our executive director here at Sullivan Renaissance. And she's going to share with you a presentation on free to 5,000, what businesses can do to improve their curb appeal.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just give me a second to catch up here. Okay. So just to Jamie's point, I'm really glad that we are recording this evening because it's an opportunity to share the presentation with other individual businesses as well as other chambers, because this is really just sort of a teaser to what sounds like could be a much more in-depth conversation about networking. So we are at Sullivan Renaissance. One of the things that we offer, as Christy mentioned, is our business assistance grant program. And as an extension of that, we have this presentation called Enhancing Curb Appeal from Free to 5,000, because really there are so many things that you can do in and around your business building that are absolutely free, that will make all of the difference to what your curb appeal looks like. And then of course you can go up from there and invest. It's unlimited what you can do based on your imagination. But I think the most important thing to understand is that there are things that are simple and free that just take a little bit of thought and time and practice that make the difference. But let's back up a minute and understand, well, most businesses are trying to figure out how to market themselves and spending a lot of money in many cases on marketing and networking and taking out ads and not perhaps acknowledging curb appeal as a very important marketing card. So the basics are to understand what exactly is curb appeal. So curb appeal is defined. We didn't make this up. We pulled it out of the good old dictionary. The attractiveness of a property and its surroundings when viewed from the street. So this has everything to do with what people see from the outside of your business, whether they're stepping out of their car or driving by. It doesn't matter if it's on a main street or if it's on a highway. It's what people see from their car or their street view. And one way to enhance that is landscaping the front entrance and the condition of the paint or the siding are biggest factors in curb appeal. Those are things that we see being employed now in many different arenas, from planning boards to marketing seminars about curb appeal. So it's really what makes a person want to leave their comfortable car or bicycle or walking path and actually go inside your business, other than if they know they have to be there, right? And why is this even important to us, and especially to the business? Because as I mentioned, it's marketing. It adds to and highlights the brand of the business. It attracts customers. I'm just going to turn down the heat in here. I have a little space heater. It's been going for a while. Attracts customers, it adds value to your space. Obviously, if you're a business, if you invest into the physical aspects of your business, it adds value and can distinguish your business and your building. It increases the sense of pedestrian security. People feel safer when they are in neighborhoods and on main streets that look cared for, that have some type of attractiveness about them. It inspires others to improve their buildings as well. It can be a domino effect in many ways, just as blight can turn into a domino effect. It enhances the appearance of Main Street and business areas overall, which makes them attractive and welcoming to people and makes people want to shop there or invest. And to our passion, it adds to community character and community pride. When businesses care about their curb appeal, it shows that they care about their community as well, because they're a visible member of that community. It becomes recognizable, and it definitely data and statistically has shown that it improves a business bottom line. So the myth taken from Revitalize or Die, aesthetics don't matter. But the fact is that we do judge books by their cover. We live in a world that just does that. And we all judge a community by its appearance. When you go into a community that is run down, boarded up, you think people don't care. It looks disinvested, and you'll either continue going if you have the choice to, or you'll think twice about returning for sure. It's not going to bring people back. So anyone in marketing will attest to impressions. First impressions are lasting impressions. We only get that first chance to make that first impression. It comes one time. If you're lucky in a business, if you don't succeed in the first impression, maybe someone will give you a second chance. But if you succeed the first time, you have likely hooked yourself a loyal customer. And I think that's probably one of the most important things about marketing, and certainly about what we're talking about today. So many business owners take great pride on the inside. We hope they have a clean interior of their business. They do merchandising inside their business to showcase their product. But what about the outside? The outside is the first impression that a person has when they are coming into your store or your office or your business in any kind. And it starts right at the front. It starts with a park. It starts where the curb is, if there is a curb. It might be a parking lot, wherever that first step is toward the business. These areas should be representative of your business, and they should be attractive and welcoming. And again, this is not difficult to do. It's actually, we'll talk about a few examples. Starting with a clean exterior. This is probably one of the best and the most affordable marketing tools. If your building and your business look clean from the outside, it's going to say something about you. Just as if it looks dirty and grimy and uncared for, it's going to say the opposite. So from free to 5,000, we start with the very basics. For zero money, and even after tonight, you can clean your windows and you can keep them free of clutter. So if a business has, and liquor stores are famous for this, they just plaster their windows with things. But I've seen wine stores and spirit stores where there's nothing in the window, and you look inside and you see beautiful glass and beautiful color and lighting. So your ability to draw people in to see your merchandise starts with the windows. And so if your windows are cluttered and dirty, you're basically putting a blinder over what you're trying to offer. Maintaining a beautiful sidewalk is as simple as sweeping the sidewalk, removing cigarette butts and litter, keeping it free of debris, keeping the mechanics of the business, especially in a restaurant, out of the pedestrian area. And providing receptacles. This is, I think, a challenge in communities, especially right now in Sullivan County, that are succeeding and thriving, especially on a main street where it's unclear who is ultimately responsible for this piece. But everything that we've discovered says that the business is responsible for this. If you have a restaurant or establishment, you're best served to put a receptacle outside for cigarette butts and garbage collection if you don't have municipal garbage. So this is important to keep in mind. It's an investment, it's a small one, but you won't have people stepping around cigarette butts and garbage to get into your business. If you have beds outside your business that have trees, keeping that area clear of litter. Last summer, we spent the entire day working in the beds on Broadway and Monticello, cleaning them and removing litter and sprucing them up, and with the handshake agreement with the businesses that they would take them forward and care for them. And some have done that. Sweep your sidewalk at least once a day. When you think of the olden days of mom and pop shops, you maybe think of the sign turns from closed to open, the door opens and the shopkeeper comes out and sweeps the sidewalk. It's like putting out the welcome mat, literally, for your customers to come in. So here are some examples of what not to do. These windows say too much, and yet they say absolutely nothing at all. They're cluttered and they're full of information that you couldn't read unless you maybe sat on a bench and spent a bit of time actually reading what they're trying to say. It's just too much when you could have a cleaner line. So avoiding clutter in your windows, lighting your windows and your entrances, changing exhibits if you have them in the windows, and changing them seasonally. Another opportunity to showcase merchandise and your business is to use your windows as an added appropriate billboard or poster for what you offer. So here are some examples. One is local, the Tustin Cup in Narrowsburg. Very clean, inviting, nice flowers in the front, really great decals on the windows themselves, nothing hanging in the windows that's distracting. And then the one with the bicycle is not a local business, but you see how they use their window to market a product and even making it kind of relevant to what the product is by adding the rocks. Signage. Oh, so these examples I've shown you are certainly cleaning your windows is free for them, except the supplies, and little cost to be creative and use the windows that already exist there for merchandising. Well-designed and attractive signage. Also, again, the same, I would say, rule applies. Less is more. If your sign says everything, people will they'll miss it. So clean and easy to read signage, less is more, absolutely complying with local codes and ordinances, and adding landscaping or lighting as appropriate. It doesn't work everywhere. If you're on a main street, it might not work. Your sign might hang differently. But these are examples that could be very inexpensive, or it can rise in expense depending on what you're interested in doing and how you do it. But here are some thoughtful signs that are clean and easy to identify. Big Kev's is on 17B. You're going past there at a good clip most of the time, but the sign is very clean and easy to see. Obviously some of the community welcome signs have added flowers and other things to help them pop. And again, more signs that are clean. Unfortunately, Brandenburg Bakery is no longer there. I should change this photo, but when they were there, their sign was an exceptional sign, and they enhanced it with lighting. Of course, that would add a cost factor. Entrances are also important. It's not just, it's the approach, it's the arrival, it's the experience of getting out of your car and going into this business. This is a Mountaindale based business, and on the sidewalk in front of the door, it says, "Come in for good times." So a little interesting and fun. But if you look at the windows, again, the windows are clean. There's nothing in these windows except the product that they are trying to offer. This is Ambika in Mountaindale. She makes clothing from Angora. Beautiful stuff. More entrances. Will Hardware and Livingston Manor. Those windows are always filled with geraniums. It's breathtaking when you go by. Who would think a hardware store would be so beautiful? And yet they found a way to draw attention to their business and make it really a welcoming location on their main street. And the local Table and Tap in Conneaga Lake, they have added interest to their entrance by having an outdoor seating area, but also using their sandwich board sign. But everything is tastefully done. It all ties together. Awnings are another way to enhance your business. This gets to be a little bit more expensive, obviously, because production of awnings can be costly. It creates a signage opportunity, as you can see on both of these examples. It brands and sort of gives you a visual line for where the business is. And when you have awnings, it creates, again, it adds to the guest experience, because if it's raining and they have to get out of the rain, they have a place to duck under. Then we get into facade improvements. These can become very costly depending on the intention, but they don't have to be. Again, starting in the parking lot, looking at windows, window replacement, painting your door. Sometimes that simple addition of painting the door will change the entire look of the building and freshens it up and makes it pop. New siding, and we always encourage to maintain historical integrity whenever possible and feasible to do so. And remembering that building facades should relate to their surroundings. It's not always great to stand out like a sore thumb. It's better to stand out because you have a good product and it's done well. So just simply painting a building in odd color so people see you is not necessarily what we're going for, at least at our grant program. Here's a before and after. New windows, some paint, new doors, and some landscaping. And then using the outdoor space. This is another way to market the business by providing seating, extending the theme of the business to the front door and onto the sidewalk, displaying goods outside to encourage pedestrian traffic, people to look. Again, these are the types of things you need to confirm local ordinances are okay. I think during COVID, a lot of the outdoor seating rules were relaxed because it was the only option, especially for restaurants. So we saw a lot of outdoor seating come through our grant program last year, and people had fun with it. The costs on these projects can also range from very minimal to obviously very expensive, depending on what you're doing. And here are some projects that have great outdoor space. T. Filippi's, they've got the covered space and the uncovered space. Floyd and Bobo's, always fun at Floyd and Bobo's. They have a lot of color. It's a very small space, but they've added sculpture and art and color and plants. And they also have a small bowl on the ground for dogs. Dogs are like a whole new generation in Sullivan County right now. Businesses are becoming more dog friendly. I feel like everywhere I go in the western part of the county, people have their dogs with them, and the businesses are learning to embrace that because it's part of the culture and sort of new here and new to New York, but it's not new in this country. In certain parts of this country, it's always been, especially communities where you have outdoor enthusiasts and activities. Dogs are certainly accompanying their people to different places. More outdoor seating. This is in, the one on the lower left is in Woodridge, I believe, and then table and tap again. Using art, whether it be statues, such as the one on the left, and again, the dove art that's going in all over the county. This was an interesting installation in Conneaut Lake, putting it on the building itself, but several businesses have it outside. Sculpture, the right-hand side is Rock Hill, and murals complementing landscaping. Not so difficult to do. I think the Hurleyville Art Center did a great job when they did the posters and put them in the displays along Main Street. They don't necessarily promote a specific movie, but they brought interest to the building itself. And more art. Alleyways. Many businesses have found a way to utilize their alleyway. It's a pedestrian connection, especially in places such as Monticello and Liberty, Fallsburg, anywhere where there's really a downtown where parking might be behind the building. There's not a lot of Main Street parking, but if you have an alleyway that is part of your property, to use it as an extension of your business and also the guest experience. I think Callicoon has done this very well, bringing people because they have businesses on both sides of the buildings in Callicoon, and on the river side or the creek side, they're catering to certain things, and they also have the farmers market. And then on the Main Street side, it's a traditional Main Street, but the alleyways have had different plantings and stenciling, and it also adds interest, especially if you can make it fun for people. And we mentioned parking lots earlier. If you do have a parking lot as part of your property, you don't have to go overboard with landscaping. The picture in the right, they went with containers. So that's not, it's much more cost effective. This is in Monticello. So obviously Sullivan Renaissance is a lot about flowers. We believe in the power of flowers on many levels, and these projects have all demonstrated how using flowers in landscape and containers just changes the space. On the left, we see the library, the post office. I think that's Livingston Manor, it might be Narrowsburg. If it's Narrowsburg, I will say one thing that they've done differently that I don't see in this picture is they planted pumpkins. So now,
that's Narrowsburg.
Yeah. Thank you, Shannon. So now Narrowsburg has pumpkins growing. So think creatively, plant pumpkins, and then when this time of year comes around, you will have pumpkins just growing outside of your business. The right is the former Visitors Association location on Route 52 in Liberty. Hanging baskets, more flowers on bridges, flowers from lampposts. This is Yanis in Monticello. They used the containers to create a buffer between where their guests were dining and where their cars were parking. Who wants to stare at someone's grill of their Jeep when you're trying to eat your hummus, right? And someone pulling up while you're eating. So it created, and also I think it probably added to a sense of safety as well, that cars weren't just right in your face when you're eating. This is in Narrowsburg as well, and this speaks to creative alleyways as well as just really saturating a space with beautiful flowers. Hanging baskets, I think I've shown this. Many of our main streets have hanging baskets, and this is a big undertaking. I do not recommend this for the faint of heart. This is best when there's a municipal partner or someone who's going to really own this project, because what's worse than having no flowers is having dead flowers. So, and there's the Narrowsburg post office with the sweet potato vines. Those are also really fun to see in the fall. And window boxes, again, just really filling them. The left hand is the library in Eltred, just really filling them with beautiful greenery and flowers. And containers. Containers are very easy to handle. You can move them if you need to. You can take them inside when you want to, and you can use them to temporarily create vignettes or create a space. And you can do that fairly inexpensively. So here's an example. This is the Conneaut Lake Fire Department in Conneaut Lake. This is a per container cost. So the container itself is a self-watering planter. It has a mechanism where you don't have to be out there watering it every day. There's a reservoir, and somehow the science of it, I'm not clear, but if Carmela's still on, she could probably jump in for us. The self-watering planter and then the plants. So the total investment for one container, and if you're a business with a doorway, this is probably all you really need is one, maybe two. The investment is $392 for the first year. And then for this container, it would be $113 each year to replant that container. And then this container is also a self-watering planter. It's a little bit different, and it's $279 as well. The plants in this container are only $45. So your total cost is $324, but your annual cost for as long as the planter lasts is $45. It's very minimal marketing expense. So you have two options. This one is a little bit more expensive, and this one a little bit less. So this is just quickly how Sullivan Renaissance can help. All of what we just reviewed, we can help with. We also can help with, those are the types of things that our grant program will support: landscaping, containers, flower boxes, facade work, outdoor seating, signage, and lighting. These things do go through a design review process with our grant review team here and others. And we also offer design consultations. So we have on staff, we have folks who can do design consultation, and we also have consultants in the community that we work with when it gets to things more about facade work and signage, and when it gets beyond the actual, just the landscaping of the project. So at this point, I will, if there are any questions, otherwise I will turn it back over to Christy. Does anyone have any questions about? This is something in the chat.
It's all good.
Okay. Okay. So Christy, back to you.
So when we advertised for this seminar, we advertised that we would be giving away a few prizes tonight, and one of which is a window washing bucket. So I went out and purchased these items yesterday at a local store, and we have them here to give them away to one of the lucky participants here tonight. And so I have a random name picker that I found on the internet today. And I have entered, I've entered the names of the people that are here with us now, not those who signed up but aren't with us. And so we'll just have the computer pick one of those names, and that person will win the bucket. And then I know Jamie has a giveaway as well. So let's see, it's flickering back and forth. And it says that Suzanne White has won the window washing bucket. So we'll get that over to you.
Yes, Susan, that doesn't mean you are now obligated to go clean other people's windows, but you could offer this to a BBA business, maybe.
I will. The one with the dirtiest window front. Yes. Thank you. That's very nice. I did not see that people were getting prizes.
So Jerry, Jamie has a gift for you as well. It is to attend a Chamber of Commerce breakfast, if you would like to. I know the one coming up this Friday is actually right in Liberty, which might be convenient for you. So congratulations to both of you, and we can get the information to you and the bucket as soon as possible.
Thank you. Breakfast sounds better than the cleaning supplies that
And Suzanne, you're invited to.
So at this point in the evening, we were going to have a roundtable discussion and some networking. We did sort of chat a little bit earlier on. If there's anything else anyone would like to share that they thought of during this time, we're happy to chat with you more. We were sort of asking in the registration, the ways that you share your information and how you communicate with the community to share ideas and help people think about what they could do that maybe they're not doing right now. And we do have some interesting answers that in addition to the regulars, we have face-to-face, which is one we hadn't given a lot of thought to, as well as snail mail. So those ideas are still important as well. It seems as if communication was important to making a chamber successful. And obstacles included things like seasonal changes, a few people who do a lot of work, which I understand as being a member of a few local organizations as well. And Shannon sort of hit on that with her question. And hopefully we can think of ways to address that together, as Jamie offered a few ideas and things the chamber could do to help. And some quick tips. Suzanne, maybe it was you who said collaboration and subscribing to the different newsletters to know what's out there, and communication again. So does anybody have anything else that they'd like to share?
No, I would just share, like, I know that everyone knows about the newspaper and advertising, but I do write the Bethel column. And if a group, and you know of a group that has anything 2 weeks in advance that I could put in, any kind of event, or to be able to share something like this webinar, to know about it a couple weeks in advance, I'd be glad to. It would just be another place where it would be put out there.
Great.
So I would do that.
Thank you, Suzanne. I will make sure that your email address is in our email database, so that would have a lot of that type of information.
Okay. Is there any input really on like how to attract youth and keep youth involved? It's very hard to get a piece of their time to volunteer.
I agree. You're right about that. We do offer a scholarship here at Sullivan Renaissance that encourages youth to work at any project that has we've supported in the past, which I know there's quite a few in Bethel. And we've given scholarships to some people who have worked in Bethel as well. So that's one thing that we do, which I understand that not everyone might be in the position of doing, but I'm trying to think of something different. We do have, Ann Louise isn't here with us tonight, but she's our intern coordinator and studies the youth more in depth than maybe some of the others of us do. And so I agree. I have a teenage daughter as well, and it is difficult to pin her down to do something specific.
Were you thinking about young people like high school, or are you thinking about young, like under, like young
High school, 30-year-old, the 30-year-old.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
A young professional, somebody that's just now new on staff somewhere.
Mhm.
You know,
We do have,
okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We do have a young professional committee, or if you will, through the Sullivan County Chamber of Commerce. Unfortunately, during COVID, it disbanded. And so now we have an event coming up November 19th. It's a joint event with the alumni from Leadership Sullivan and the Young Professionals Group. Anybody who wants to come, whether you're an old professional that is just starting out in a new profession, or a young professional just moving up here from the city or something, we encourage them to come. It's a cash bar and it's free food. That's always a good attraction. And it's going to be at the Cartwright. So I'll send you the information on that and we can share it out and disseminate the information. We just have a flyer coming out tomorrow, I believe, in our newsletter. So.
Okay, wonderful. All right.
Jamie, when you say alumni, how far back did you go with leadership?
I think they went back all the way to the beginning to invite the alumni, but whether or not they're going to come is another story.
Just because I was a first year alumni and I didn't, this is the first I heard about what you're
Yeah, they haven't sent anything out yet.
Oh,
The flyer's going to go out tomorrow. It was
okay,
we were able to get the venue, and so now we just want to have it and put it out there. It's a sort of like the old mixers that we used to do. It's just going out and getting to know people and talking about the young professionals and how we can move forward and have more organized meetings from there on.
Yeah, Michelle, I believe Michelle Babcock is our alumni
Yes.
there with the foundation, and she was going to be sending it out as soon as the chamber sent that flyer out. So
yeah.
About it.
We were talking yesterday and today, as a matter of fact. I got the flyer all ready to go and sent it to her. So
I think what Jamie's saying, Suzanne, sort of speaks to what I was thinking of also in seeing some of the new movers that have come back to the area and how we've heard of them getting involved is activities, really, providing something for them to do. Seems to be drawing them in.
Good, good, okay. All right, I thank you. These are all good tips.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, I want you to come by my my business and check on my windows in a couple of weeks. Make sure everything. Now I'll give them away. We're doing a meet and greet. The BBA is doing a meet and greet on this Friday, actually, at 5:30. Cash bar, no food, so they can pick up food at the restaurant if they care to. It's to showcase the restaurants and hopefully have some young people come out. We'll see. So you're invited.
Thank you. It sounds fun.
Yes. And Jamie, should we be announcing the Narcan training and the awareness and the?
Yes, that's December 7th. And we're going to be having a Narcan training at the Duggan School in is that White Lake or Conneaunga Lake? Is that considered White Lake? And that will be at 6 o'clock in the evening. And we'll get a flyer out for that too as well this week.
Yeah, I'm starting to put the word out, but I want the young people there. I'm going to reach out to a few select people, and because that's who it's affecting the most beyond their families, etc.
Yes, exactly. And we'll mention this all also on Friday at our breakfast, and we'll mention your mixer for Friday night. What restaurant is it at?
At Friends in Smallwood.
Friends. Okay.
Yes, I'm sabotaging them and making them become members. They are not members. But by doing this, I'm
Good
going
idea.
to make them a member.
That's an excellent idea.
It's the best way to do it. By force.
Well, they're going to see they'll see what fun it could be to host people for an event like this, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is a good idea."
Yeah.
No, and you'll have to do more of these. Or can this be repeated? Can this, now that it's partially recorded, can it be repeated or not? I can't.
Denise, you're muted. There you go.
I would encourage you to share it with the BBA members, because we'll have a link, or we can get a link to you and you can send it out. But we're happy to take this presentation via Zoom or otherwise to any meeting if you want us to just talk about this idea of enhancing your curb appeal from 3 to 5,000 and some of the things that Christy researched about the ways that chambers can network and be more effective. So if you're looking for a speaker at one of your upcoming BBA meetings, we would love to come to Bethel.
That'd be great.
Oh, that's awesome. And we're going to do more of these meetings. I've been talking with Christy and Denise and everybody, trying to do more of these types of meetings, and then do something really big after their get ready to Renaissance thing next year. So
Wonderful.
Coming soon.
Coming soon to a chamber near you.